Okay. Thank you. I am honored. Throughout my life, influential people have told me that I do not need a higher education unless I'm going to be a doctor, a lawyer, or an engineer. I wanted to be an educator. I have a deep-rooted enthusiasm in American history, our community, and building new relationships. After high school, I met my now ex-husband, and we had our children, Kara and Kelsey. After having kids, my dreams of going back to school seemed like just that, a dream. I was raised being taught that parents must work and they have bigger responsibilities than to go to school, that once I became a parent, living and doing for myself was finished. I worked the McDonald's jobs, the call center's jobs, and to say I had challenges at all of these personally is a huge understatement. I was dissatisfied with my life because I knew what I wanted and I knew what I was capable of. I wanted a job that I loved doing. I was tired of hearing that going back to school would be a selfish act on my part, and I didn't feel like I was supporting my family as well as I knew I was capable of doing. 2 kids and 3 applications later, I finally enrolled in my first class at Pikes Peak. It was an Intro to Early Childhood Education class. At the time, I was working as a teacher's assistant in my daughter's daycare. I felt that by completing this one class, it would raise my worth within my workplace. That by completing this one class, it would permit a set schedule and increase my financial support I knew my family needed. Never could I have ever expected that this one class would lead to timeless opportunities, not just within my workplace, but in molding me to be the person I knew I could be. The very next semester, I was enrolled in 12 credit courses, or 12 credit hours as a secondary education major with a concentration in American history. When speaking with my advisor, he informed me of what is called a service learning community. This particular class was a combined communications class and history class. Well, hello. Speaking on historical topics through rhetoric to a classroom of people, that's what I wanted to do, right? Day 1, I walk into class, take a seat, front and center, and my professors walked in. I can imagine you all know who I'm talking about. It was at that moment that I realized I was in for an interesting semester. My communications professor, tall and with hair much longer than mine, came walking in alongside my sweet history teacher, and there were puppets. Needless to say, as we progressed into the semester, it became apparent how impactful this class and these professors were to making me a better me, or at least a better public speaker. Through this and subsequent learning communities, I had gotten several unique opportunities to take the content I had learned and applied it by serving it into my community. The most impactful service we did was when I took the Part 2 Communications and History Service Learning Community. At the end of the semester, we as a class took a road trip to Camp Amache in Grenada, Colorado. We toured the remains of the Amache concentration camp, which housed over 7,000 Japanese American citizens from 1942 to 1945. From there, we had a special opportunity to assist a local Amache museum in sifting through artifacts that had been donated by the families of the camp's former residents. From letters and pictures to newspapers and high school records from within the camp, we were completely engrossed in and captivated by the history and the lives of the Camp Amache, its residents, and their families. The biggest takeaway from that experience was the revelation that occurred to us at the end of the day. That yes, these were the skeletons that were hidden in our nation's closet, but more importantly, that throughout the artifacts we had sifted through, and over a good number of hours, the camp spirit seemed to remain high. They did the best they could with what they had to reestablish a sense of normalcy. The high school, like every other high school in America, had a sports team, prom, and that memorable annual class picture. They grew together and became a close family-like community who kept their spirits high even under the circumstances. It is because of this experience I am humbled and remember to keep my own spirits high in all circumstances, because no matter how hard it is being a single parent in school, I am also making an influence on little lives. To use every class's content and to further my knowledge, to understand all I can, to invest in a timeless opportunity will allow doors to open for me, my children, and our future. As a student parent, my goal is to lead by example, to show my children that when the going gets tough, the tough get going. My goals as an individual are to continue to learn and grow and build personal relationships with all kinds of people, to use the ample opportunities that I have been given and to run with them. Opportunities such as the C Campus grant have provided above and beyond quality child care for my girls. I feel comfortable going to school and continuing through my circumstances knowing they are safe, cared for, and loved almost as much as I do. Opportunities such as the foundation scholarships that I have received have covered the remainder of my childcare expenses, my tuition, and my books. Had I not taken that vast leap of faith by enrolling in that one class, I never would have imagined a life outside of what I was told I had to be as a young parent. Thank you.
Courtney, great job. Congratulations. Thank you.